Well, welcome one and all to Bike Racing Without Mercy. It has been a while since we've had a live stream, and I do wonder if anybody's going to join, but if you do, welcome. I'm relieved to see you and very pleased to see you. Thank you very much. Now, on the agenda today is the UCI World Short Course, which is, as Ross has said in the comments, a mini FTP. It's going to be about a 20-minute climb up the Fwd KOM in Innsbruck. Looking forward to it and dreading it in equal measure. And here we have a very strong individual. We have Mr. Paul Livesey, he of the Lake District, strong friend of Lee Baxter. We just came back from a training camp in Tenerife, and I gotta say, Paul did something like 23,000 meters of ascending that week, and I got no idea how many kilometers. Nearly got a 6-hour Fred Whitten. Mispaced it a little bit at the beginning, I think, but definitely Paul's on for kind of like a 5:45 or something like that when he gets to pacing Goldilocks. Paul, it's good to see you. So thank you all for joining, and I'm sorry I haven't live streamed for quite a while. The reason being is exactly as I've just been discussing. My ambitions for the Fred Whitten were somewhat less lofty than Lee's and Paul's. I wanted a sub 7 hour, and I realised I was going to have to properly concentrate on the actual training needed and the build up and the volume in order to get kind of close to that. Lee Baxter and I did a recce of it, and I thought, how on earth are you going to shave half an hour or more off your time? But with the help of Tony Cope, I managed it. 6 hours 49, so super happy with that. And now, having had a little bit of holiday and a lot of stress at work as it happens, it is time for a little bit of live streaming. Next weekend, up in the Lake District once again, C-Scale to do the West Coast, west to east, what's it called? The coast to coast ride with Velo 29, but the live streams are going to be back on the deck. Vidar, very nice to see you. Hope you're well, sir. Hope you're well. Now, I've warmed up today. It took me a little bit of time to get the live stream up and running. As always, the technology was a little bit rusty, shall we say, given the pause since really early in the new year on the live streams. But did a couple of quick climbs of the Fwd KOM in Watopia, and you can see there a little bit of red there just to warm up the legs and the lungs. So I hope everybody's doing real well. Time probably to transition soon to Innsbruck, scene of what Ross has correctly identified as a sneaky little FTP. Now I reckon my average power up the 20-minute climb should be about, I don't know, 280 would be what I would hope for. That's aspirational. I was kind of hitting about 292 for 12-13 minutes on the longest climb in Ibiza, but we will see. We'll see if the live stream, which always gives 10% more, do remember that, will put me in good stead. Ian, very nice to see you, sir. Thank you very much for your support and lovely comments on the thread as well. I really appreciate that. I'm feeling very Zwiftish. Even though we're meant to be outside cycling. It's slightly rainy here in London, and I am, after all, a fair weather cyclist. And there is, of course, a risk of rain next weekend on the coast to coast, so that'd be more than sufficient for me. But yeah, feeling very Zwiftish this morning. It's been quite a while actually since I've used the kicker bike. I used it once about 2 weeks ago before going to Ibiza, and then once just after Ibiza, using the Fwd Aciomas for power. Let me show you my setup. Jono, thank you for joining, really good to see you. I'll show you my setup. Here's the settings. Trainer difficulty, you'll see here in the hardware, 75%, because when I run out of gears in real life, I don't want to run out of gears on Zwift. And definitely, in terms of the weight, currently around about 65 to 66, or 65 and 0.6 or something this morning, so 65.5 it is. Let's not fall out over 0.1 of a kg amongst friends. And in terms of the pairing, power source, you can see here, I know there's a lot of controversy concerning power sources and all this kind of stuff, but my Fwd Aciomas do always read about 7 to 9 watts below this kicker bike. And because I use the Fwds outside, that's what I'm using here. So hoping they all kind of stay connected. Anyway, time to join the event. And I really do appreciate people joining after so long since the last live stream. I was nervous that nobody would come. Hey, Olga, how are you? Very good to see you. See, I promised you I'd put on a live stream, and here it is. Unfortunately not next weekend, but the weekend after there'll be one. The other issue as well with live streaming in the summer is trying to find an event in the morning that's actually reasonably well attended. Quite a lot of them don't seem to have many people in the event. So this one is a bit like a Gran Fondo in all honesty. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, how many categories there are. I'm in the B's, because that is what is recommended to me. I'm not an A. I do have an FTP of just over 4 watts a kilogram, but I am not an A. We all set off at the same time, so in effect it doesn't really matter. And I quite like that, because you've got more people kind of sloshing around the pen, and it's just that little bit more fun on the climb. Michael, how's it going? How's the running? I bet you've had some nice times in the Ferrari out there when the weather was good a little few weeks ago. Hope you're keeping well. I hope you're keeping injury free. And Mr. Found of the Found in Australia. You didn't say whether or not you liked my reference to Wordsworth on one of the climbs. It was only the most fleeting references. Found, but I put it in for you. I cycled lonely as a cloud. Mr. Lee Dixon, how are you? Good to see you. Love Island, is that still going, Love Island? Dear me, I thought Love Island, I don't watch very much television, I've got to be honest with you. Jane arranges things to watch on like Replay or what's it called, Netflix, this kind of thing. It was noticed that, okay. Thank you, Found, I appreciate that. I don't think I'd crush you, Vidar, I think you're getting properly fit at the moment. Nice one to you. Love Island. It's a long time since I thought about that. Now, let's see. Does anyone know if in the race there's a new lap button in Zwift? No, I don't think you can set a lap button in Zwift now when you're on a training ride or something like that. So you can kind of look at A, how long the effort is, and B, what the average power on the individual effort is, just as we can on our actual devices. But you can't do it here, it would seem, in a race. Because of course, the Fwd KOM in Innsbruck is a kind of little FTP test. It isn't official because obviously there isn't a big VO2 max effort beforehand, or I did do 2 on the Fwd KOM in Innsbruck, well, one proper one of kind of 2.5 minutes and one of about 1.5 minutes. Yeah, you were the one that told me about the lap button, and I have experimented with it in a training ride, and it is very, very good indeed. I don't know why it took him so long to put it in all honesty. It's quite a obvious thing. Well, I mean, what do I know about all the technology needed to do that across all the many thousands of riders riding with this at the same time? But now, Sturka do this electrolyte and carb mix. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's their new product, an electrolyte and carb mix. And as you know, I do love the Sturka gels. 50 grams of carbs per gel. And you can get one with 150 milligrams of caffeine and 30 grams of carbs. So very convenient to have a number of those in the pocket and stay on top of the eating. But I also like this carb drink with the electrolytes in it. I don't know what it is about it, but I seem to respond better to it than the beta fuel. So I'm not sponsored by anybody. This channel is way too small, but I would recommend it. I've got to say, I don't often make a recommendation, but certainly consistently I'm liking the Sturka products. I like the rice bars as well. Scratch element? What's that? Scratch element. Yeah, I have to find it in a bit. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Right. I'm very nervous this morning. Very, very nervous. It's been a while. And you know, you think, well, what if the legs and the lungs desert me? They shouldn't. I'm as fit as I've been in a long, long time. Not as fit as I was pre my accident, but I'm not far off it. And what's more, I've been taking good recovery, like 2 hard rides a week, typically longer hard rides, but really focused on the recovery, and I've succumbed, I really hate it, I've succumbed to the zone 2, just to get the volume up. I really don't like the zone 2. There's something about it, it's just monotonous. Here we go. 2 minutes. No, it wasn't over 300. No, I wish it was, John. I wish it was. It would have been anywhere, a proper 1 hour test, 275 to 285, that kind of thing. The best hour of power I ever managed was 282. Nick, congratulations. Nick, check out Nick's YouTube channel. He is in a long build-up for hill climb season, but in the north of England, the beautiful north, the northwest, they have a summer hill climb season. And Nick is really providing some very nice videos that show the community and the fun that you can have at these events. So if you're in the northwest, check out Nick's channel and get yourself involved if you fancy a hill climb. It's for all kind of talents and capabilities, elite, and Nick is pushing kind of elite through people like me who just want to give it a go. But Nick is doing really nicely. He's consistently, since his nasty accident, upping the power and the fitness and getting P2s against some very good riders. It's a nice one, Nick. I haven't yet jumped on a rower fan. I do need to. Right, I've got to put the fan on, my apologies. Right. Now, by the power of Asioma, transform this decayed 50-year-old being into somebody that can actually climb a reasonable power for 20 minutes. Please do that. Radislaw, really nice to see you. I see you're getting very fit as well. Dean, thank you very much. Good to see you. Not too impressed with the beats if you're compared to the regular gels. Yeah, well, you've got to go with what's best, not the brand. So if it's the regular gels, try it, but try the Sturka with the electrolytes in. Yeah, I agree, Ian, they are a good watch. Anyway, cheers all. The level of concern is as ever high. I'm going to hit a lap button so I can call out, hopefully, the average power. And we're off to the races. Yeah, this is not like a Ground Fondo, this. Starting at 300 odd watts. Ah, that's all right. Oh, very civilised for a Zwift, to be fair. Right, let's get that pedalling straight, nice and circular. Thank you all for the good luck. I appreciate it. The sound is all right, is it? I forgot to ask that at the beginning. Is the sound okay? Hey, Paul. Lovely to see you. I hope you're having a good summer with the family. A little sneaky FTP in a race up the Fwd KOM in Innsbruck. And then garnished, of course, with the leg snapper. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Dean. Appreciate that. Normally I'm fiddling with the sound as the race begins. I'm going for my effort up here. There are people in, there's about 10 in the Cat A. Their FTP is stronger than me. And I've got to save enough for a nice circuit of Innsbruck at the end. I hope we don't get dropouts. Oh, in Italy, yes, I forgot you on the beautiful Italy. Oh, Nick is here. Hey up, Nick. You right? In the peloton to show us how it's done on the climb. And do not stay with me, Nick. You cane it, boy. How was Italy this morning? It's sunny, the good life, la dolce vita. I've not yet been to Italy this year. I'm feeling bereft of that. Bereft is not the right word. I'm feeling like I'm missing out. Average power so far. Oh, it's happened a thing. Ah, there's an average power in the race as well. Oh, look who's number one. If only there wasn't another 21.5 kilometres to go. Hey Tobias, good to see you, thank you for joining. Oh, good luck with your first ride, sir. I hope it's a pleasant one. Thank you for saying hello though. Off goes Nick. Okay, start the lap. No. Won't be much talking now, I'm afraid. This will be hard. Full gas. Oh, it's fast this. Two 96 watts for the first 2.5 minutes. Focusing on my rhythm. Oh, thanks for the heads up, Ross. Tony Martin face. He won't stay for long. .288, 5 minutes, 15. It's a hard start. 24, 7 minutes, 7.5. Ten minutes, 281. Eleven, 282. I rest in the decline. Turn him out face. Regroup. 13, 280. You ready for 15? You ready, 16? You ready, 17? 280, 18. Two 80, 19. Two 80, 1, 20. Oh, I'm in. Oh dear. Yeah, I had some dropouts. So that was 283 for 20 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm well happy with that. Thank you for the support. Oh, I was aware of the fairies, Jono. I had no idea I hadn't even had a feather. That's my best 20-minute power for some time, like years. Heart rate, I think it peaked about 183 as well. So really happy with that. Thank you for the support. 283 for 20.5 minutes. It was a hard start, FTP. Thank you, Nick. How did you go, sir? I was about 275 for about 26 minutes or so in terms of the average, I think, which is great for me. Oh dear, I was in all kinds of trouble. You're an 8th. Oh, 8 single figures is good, sir. Wow. Yeah, TTing, sir. Your fitness is getting very impressive, Nick. Alright, I'm being caught by a couple now. Please stay with them. See me, I am. Yeah, I get a lot of dropouts, aren't I? Sorry. Cheer me. Thank you, Peter. Sorry, I'm really stealing myself for the leg snapper. Oh. Oh, Jimmy. Woo-wee! That was max effort. Thank you. Oh. Woo-wee! As you can see, my racecraft was abysmal. Dropped on a climb, dropped again on a climb, burning matches to get in. I overdid it on a leg snapper. Got dropped by 4 people. Clawed myself back in, and then about a 500 watt sprint, such that it is to the end. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. But well happy with that. Let's have a look at the power, the curve, because it is, after all, as Ross said, a sneaky little FTP. The 20-minute power says 282. I definitely had 283 at the end of the KOM, 20 and a half minutes. So I'm surprised it's, who cares about a watt, let's be fair. 1 minute power, that's alright, that'll be the leg snapper. Right, so wait a second. We have to go end rise, let's do that. Heart rate got nice and high. I don't know where it got to at the end there, let's have a look at the timeline. So it's a good hard start, that, because this is where the FTP starts, somewhere around here. But obviously you've had a little VO2 max, low VO2 max action there, you know, kind of a tempo, a bit of threshold to get to it, and then boom. Albeit I do think a half 5 minute effort is tougher. Your best since the leg break, very nice, very nice. What did you get, Nick? Tell us what power you got. And so heart rate peaked here, where's he gone? Oh. It wasn't 168, I mean that's rubbish. I definitely got to 183 on the heart rate on the KOM. I'm sure of it. And I was, yeah, see 171, 79, 180, 182, 183. Yeah, something's gone wrong with my heart rate there. So I got to 183, 184, I guess, on the legs, on the KOM. Lack of racecraft on the descent. Then this I was happy with. It's about 400 watts for just a bit less than a minute, I'd guess. That's decent for me. And then, I don't know, 500 watts for 20, 30 seconds or something. 325. Wow. 325, that's huge. Very, very nice, Nick. 334 for the hill, 325 for the 20 minutes. Sorry. Yeah, cruel pace before the hill. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And you were part of that cruel pace, sir. You were part of it. But look, I'm happy with that. That's really good training, to be honest. And next weekend it will come in handy, because Tony Cope and I are undertaking the West, what's it called? Coast to coast. You go from Seatown in Cumbria all the way to Whitby in Yorkshire in a day, and then you get on a coach to come home. I certainly will, Mr. Zwift. I will be doing it more. Not next weekend, because I said I've got the coast to coast, but now I've got the Fred Whitten under my belt, yes. Because so it's a critical power here. Let's have a look at the, I'll come back to it in a second. Yeah, 20 minutes. Yeah, 283, you can see here. So I was correct. 2040 or whatever. Yeah, there we go. I'll take that. What was my 1 minute? There we go. Yeah, so there you go. You said I'd get a new FTP. I honestly don't think I could do 270 for an hour, in all honesty, because I didn't have the 5 minute proper hard VO2 max beforehand. But you know, I'm happy with that. That'll do. Let's go back to the actual thing. Oh dear. Yes. So a little bit of a recap. I was doing quite a lot of crit racing outdoors. And some live streaming. I was really enjoying the crit racing outdoors. I was doing the British Masters Racing circuit as well as doing the NCRA and I was getting ready for the Fred Whitten, and I was trying to fit in probably a little bit too much. And for the NCRA races up in Northampton, on one of them, I think it was my third one, they set you off in groups, and I was set off in the second group, which I was a little bit upset at. I thought I should be in the third group to go because it's a handicap race. But anyway, I was with one other person off the front in the first kind of lap and a quarter off the front of our group, and we were staying away very nicely. You know, I was doing really nice average power. Oddly enough, I was actually at 270 watts at about 58 minutes in, and we were just coming to a turn from one B road, a left-hand turn onto another B road. But I could see that the main peloton, the other chasers, were going to catch us. And this was the last lap, and it was the last kind of third of the last lap. We had a downwind leg. And so I reasoned that if I monstered, because I was feeling like a diamond legs day, if I monstered a great power for the last, I don't know, 10, 12 minutes, rolling terrain, to get home, a bit twisty, it's sort of, and cars, and because the peloton's so big, you can't go on the right hand side of the road, they all get bunched up and stuff. I thought, well, you got a little chance of staying away a little bit longer, maybe not to the end and a win, or top 3 or whatever, but you know, you got a chance. And I carried too much speed through the left hand turn, and I just went a little bit wider than normal, because I've done this left hand turn many times, and I got into the middle of the road on the white stripes, and there's a bit of grit and all that kind of stuff, and just like a whipsaw, my front wheel just went from under me, and I went down, I hit the head, I got a lot of road rash down the left hand side, and you know, I got up, I wasn't concussed or anything, the Evade helmet did its job, but over the next 2 or 3 days, the pain really kicked in, and I could not move any of my left hand side, like up or down or anything like that. It wasn't broken, no broken ribs, no broken collarbone, but I was in a lot of pain. And I was able to get back on the watt bike and train just the legs and all this kind of stuff. And I realised that if I was going to actually do my 7-hour Fred Whitten, I had to get serious about the training and being specific and let myself heal and get in the volume. And so I actually, for once in my life, decided not to indulge myself with all the little races and the hard efforts and do the zone 2. And then you know, some hard, you know, the hard VO2 max efforts, some hard start FTP work, etc. Recce's of the outdoor course with Lee Baxter, training camp in Tenerife with Paul, Livesey who's been in the stream, Lee Baxter, Paul Hamlet, and you know, I built a decent fitness. I did a 266 power up Grenadilla to Villaflora in Tenerife for about 40 minutes or so, that was pretty good. So I knew I was going well ahead of the Fred, but I still didn't think I'd get sub 7 hours. But then Tony Cope phoned up and said he would give me a bit of a lead out at times, and he did at the key moments. Certainly Estelle to Hard Knot, and then the Langdale Valley through home, and that was worth its weight in gold. Tony really turned up. So I haven't been live streaming, but I am going to do more live streaming because I really do enjoy it. I just always wanted to do that sub 7 hour Fred. It was really, I don't know what it was. It was just because I'd done it twice before, and I just thought I'd easily do a sub 7 hour. I don't know what it was. I had it in my head. And, you know, the Fred for me is the best of the Sportives, the Grand Fondos, you name it. There is no better than the Fred. It is the one and only, and I just wanted to do my best. And it was an amazing day. Beautiful weather, good vibes as always. The marshals, the organisers, the locals, the support you get from the locals is absolutely phenomenal. So that's why I haven't been live streaming. And then I had a little bit of holiday. I've got a lot of stress at work at the moment, like vast amount of stress at work. I took on a bigger job for a period of time, and I've got other stresses related to it. So it's all been a bit fraught, but I'm hoping to do, certainly not next weekend, the weekend after. I'll find something with a bunch of people in it. Oh, cheers, Nick. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I mean, I do think, yeah, I mean, well, this is it. I had my little mini Fred training where you do a lot of VO2 max efforts over 3 hours, and a half, or whatever. And what I've been trying to do is generally do my efforts after at least a minute of zone 2, or you know, string them out over a 3 hour kind of training. And I am trying to improve what people is talking about a lot, the durability but it's really just that ability to produce a high VO2 max power when I need. And one of the things that I am building up to now, I'm really looking forward to it, is the Band of Climbers toughest 100 kilometers. I'm not going to do their big course or their medium course or anything like that. I want to do a full gas, and I do mean full gas effort on the Band of Climbers toughest 100. It's in fact 110 kilometers. Nice one, Band of Climbers. And it's 3,300 meters of climbing, a lot of it very steep in Yorkshire. And one of the climbs is Burbage Moor, which comes towards the end. So you've got to do a lot of kind of 3-5 minute kind of low VO2 max efforts, or high if you're properly fit. But then you've got to have enough kind of energy and mental fortitude to do a good, hard threshold effort for 12 to 14 minutes up Burbage. Well, I say 12 to 14 because if you've got a headwind, it could in fact be like 16, because Burbage Moor is very exposed. So that's my kind of next thing, and I'm not trying to overface myself, as I also have done in the past, like by doing like an Everest and then trying to do the Maratona and then trying to fit it in the Fred Whitten and then the Strada Bianchi and then blah 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 blah. You get my drift. I do enjoy. I'm really enjoying riding in the UK, if I'm really honest. I think it suits me a little bit better. I'm really babbling because I'm away with the fairies. Sorry, it is verbal diarrhea as to why I haven't been live streaming. But and I do want to come up, because the fitness is sufficient, Nick Brownbill. I do want to come up to Snowdonia once again, because Nick has made a very valid point, because in the GCM video in Fred Whitten, they said it was the hardest climbing there is. But certainly, having done a Fred Whitten in 21 in September and then ridden just 100 kilometres of one of Nick Brownbill's routes in Snowdonia, I know for sure. I mean, my favourite place to cycle in the world is undoubtedly the Lake District, but not very far behind, and certainly harder. And certainly it also has every bit as much majesty as the lakes. I mean, and Nick would certainly say it's prettier, and we're talking like a wafer thin decision as to what is more beautiful, the Lake District or Snowdonia. It's all kind of like a first world English countryside, Welsh countryside, British countryside. Don't admonish me, Nick. British countryside problem. But the climbs in Snowdonia are harder. Collid, obviously we talked about, that is just unrelentingly difficult. Unrelenting. In Tenerife, Tony Caper recommended we do this really nasty climb on the north of the island, and it's 2.6 kilometres at 16%, and it is seriously steep. Unrelenting. I've got a video on it, beautifully shot. I'll put that out shortly. And the tarmac is nice. You're not in the woods at any time. There's no grit in the middle of the road, wheel spin, and there are no kind of 33% gradients. Collid is harder. As I said when I did the video, every climb I've ever done, in terms of the tough ones, I kind of compare to the Collid. Mortirolo in Italy, that's up there with the Collid, because you've got, of its 12 kilometres, something like 8 of them are at a very disgusting percentage, like 11. And when you're doing 11% for distance, and that's hard. But it isn't. There aren't moments on the Mortirolo where you think, I'm not going to get up this. It's just a question of how quick. Collid, there are moments when you think, I'm just going to have to stop. Balcagrois, not quite as hard as a Collid, but very, very hard. And Stwani Gan, that was my first kind of initiation to the dark arts of the dark arts of Snowdonia. And that's a climb that suddenly just rips your face off. It rips your face off. So I haven't dared go near Snowdonia since my accident. Not dared, because you gotta have your game face on. And also, compared to the people Nick rides with, I would be somewhat slower. But definitely Lee Baxter and Paul Livesey, if you're still in the stream, you should get yourself there. Ahead of the next Fred Whitten, because it would make the Fred Whitten feel that bit easier. You didn't put it in your... it's a dead end, same as... what's it called? Not Swanigan. Quimigan. Dam, now that's a beautiful, beautiful climb, right up there with Rhino's Pass. Those two, for me, are the most beautiful climbs in the British Isles. It's got similar offerings. Yeah, similar offerings. If there was a sportif there, it would be every bit as difficult. And sometimes the band of climbers, they say their toughest 100-kilometre climb is harder than the Fwd because it's got more elevation per kilometre. You're either going up or down, and definitely that's hard. But what I would say on the Fwd, one of the things that makes it so hard is you've got these long undulating drags where you're continually going up or down, and you're continually kind of attritionally being eaten away at, and these long drags, sometimes in between the climbs, they really do take it out of you. It kind of creeps up, it's insidious. That's the right nice way to describe it. And so I'm going to be very interested to see just how much harder the band of climbers the toughest 110 kilometres is than the Lake District, because it's a similar elevation, that's the whole point of it, but it's meant to be tougher because you're going up and up and down. But I quite like being on the power or off the power, so it could suit a certain rider. Yeah, Paul, I mean, the Zwift roads are a little empty at the moment. Thank you, Paul, it's very nice you say that, I appreciate that, sir. The reason also it's tough to live stream this time of year is there's not a lot of people on Zwift, and so when you look at the races and you think, oh, I could do that or I could do that, there's like 2 or 3 people on it. They haven't got any of the kind of the Zwift, Tour de Zwift or Tour de Watopia, all this kind of stuff, which, you know, you do get good attendance. Yeah, you get a rhythm on a steep up and down, I agree, and you can kind of just enjoy another race. I certainly haven't got another one of those. No, thank you very much, and I will drop you a note about Snowdonia. I'm not going to go up the Fwd KOM again. Definitely not, definitely not. I'm very much appreciative of everybody who's joined the live stream after me not doing it for so long. I just want to say thank you very much. More to come. Always full gas. There is no other gas on a live stream. You definitely all gave me 10% more today. When the mental fortitude after that hard start on the Fwd KOM in Innsbruck, sort of, I did wonder around about the 13 to 16 minute mark. Dear, dear, are you going to hold that 280? The live stream is what keeps you going. Have I taken a Ferrari out lately? No, I haven't, Paul. I haven't. I've been so focused on the training for the Fwd, and then I had a little holiday with Jane. But also I've got quite a lot going on at work. I must confess, I drove it twice last year, to the service and back from the service, and I definitely intend to do more this year. That's a very nice way to put it, actually, Mike. I didn't see that. Snowdonia reminds you of the lakes. South Wales reminds you of the Yorkshire Dales. I think that's a very fair comparison. Definitely, it's got because the lakes has got a lot of majesty to it, as has Snowdonia. But we are sport here in the British Isles. Beautiful cycling. I'm going to look forward to making the most of it. But anyway, thank you all ever so much for joining. More to come, as I say, and do remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, please remember, live, thrive, stay happy, healthy, enjoy some of the sunshine. Oh, got the Dolce Vita in Italy. Ciao, arrivederci, au revoir. Cheers. I'm going to figure out how to end a stream. Yes, it's that button. Cheers, all.